go. And these are the people that will have the capital punishment. So I will advise you that if you have any proof of all these documents, I will advise you to represent your case to New EFCC, New Nigeria, New government. I'm sure they will look into it. And in the absence of none, you can come to APC France. We will help you to forward your case through ambassador directly to the EFCC, and I'm sure your case will be looking into. Thank you.
Yeah. I would like Mr. President to direct this question. I would like Mr. Chairman to direct this question to Mr. President. I want to know the provision Mr. President have for disability people, because there's most people have already neglected in society. That is my question, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saibdelo. That question is very, very sensitive and it's very, very important. I'm very happy that you asked this question. And I promise you that I will, as Mr. President, the provision for the disability people. And sorry, if I may ask you, do you register as a Nigerian in Nigerian embassy?
Yeah, I don't. Normally, they don't issue a consular paper, but I've been there many times to do for my passport. But I attend APC, APC France Association in France before. This is second time. But the first time I come, they never mention any registration for the member. And I would love to be part of the member if they can give me the opportunity to do that.
Thank you very much. It's very, very important. I will handle the mic to the Director of Media. Should we tell you more about it? But before I do that, please, Mr. Saigo, I want to see you at the Ambassador's house on Tuesday.
I will surely be there.
Please, thank you.
Everybody, hello again. Mr. Bello, to answer your question, you can sit down. First of all, with registering with APC, we are not segregating, so we want everybody. As far as you're a Nigerian and you believe in change, and you want to see Nigeria move forward, you're welcome to join us. We are happy to have you. In terms of what Mr. President is doing for disability people, it's very important that we as Nigeria understand one thing first. When you're a Nigerian or anybody living in the diaspora, the first thing that you must do as a citizen of a foreign country is to be registered with the embassy. If you are not registered with the embassy, I am very, very sorry. Nobody will help you. I lived in Asia for 10 years. That's Malaysia, Singapore, and Japan. And what I used to do was to talk for Nigerians. We Nigerians, sorry to say, we always say that the government is not doing anything, but we too don't do anything. If you were registered with the embassy, and I'm telling you, you will not be more than 10 disability people that would have been registered. You would have gotten some sort of recognition, you would have gotten some sort of answer, but because nobody even knows, most times the embassy even think that maybe people that are disabled here, some of them are forming just to get papers. And that is what we in APC France, that is one of our objectives. What we do is to stand as a bridge between the ordinary people and the embassy. In layman's terms, we are the word for the embassy. The embassy, their own is to deal with investors, blah, blah, blah. They don't know what is happening to the average Nigerian. But as an APC member, if you are our member now, you are disabled, right? We can tell the ambassador, and you're a registered member, and you're registered with the embassy, and you're having difficulties. We can call the ambassador through the chairman and say, ambassador, look at our disabled, he's looking for a job, but nobody has done anything. Is it because he's disabled? Because we don't have many. You will be easily answered.
Yes.
But you're not registered with the embassy. Now, Mr. Chairman will go to the ambassador. Ambassador, nobody is taking care of the disabled. First question with this particular ambassador, I'm very sure he will ask, Are you registered with the embassy? When you say no, then what's their case? Yes, please talk.
I've been through. And I don't, if any Nigeria here can tell me that they have consular card. So,
Let me explain to you. The Nigerians here, so my point is, as you know, you are a special case person. How many of you are registered with the embassy? Sincerely, nobody. Okay, apart from him. And I'm very sure he will be getting good treatment. If you go to the embassy now, you ask for Seed Restaurant or Mr. They will present him. And that's what a good Nigerian does. Sometimes we also have to make effort to be seen and to be heard. In other words, I'm saying that what you should do subsequently, because I believe in way forward, tomorrow or after this whole event, when the president goes, what we will do, first of all, you register with the APC. The APC Association in France will register our members to say, look, oh, Mr. His Excellency Ambassador, these are our members. We have so members. This is what they do. This is their profession. Some of them are disabled. Now the embassy knows. In fact, it is the embassy's duty to actually take care of us. Which brings me to your answer. If you are also registered with the embassy, if you also told the embassy, as in you liaised with the embassy before you took your partner to Nigeria, you probably wouldn't have had problems. The embassy would have directed you to the right person. That is what they are here for, trade. So when you have those kind of next big idea, I'm sure because you thought they will steal your idea, but no idea can be stolen. If God says you will do it, you will do it. The embassy would, please hold on. It is the duty of the embassy, even though we always think the embassy does not work. If you have a brilliant idea, you're taking somebody to Africa, you come to the embassy. Embassy, I want to take somebody to Nigeria for agriculture or for this or for that. The embassy has a directory of the kind of people that should work with that company. They will only make a phone call and direct you directly to them. Now, if you have an issue with them in Nigeria, the embassy too will talk for you. So in other words, what I'm saying is we as APC France should actually do things rightly. First of all, join the association, put yourself, your business, everything. We want to promote each other. If you are selling beans or rice, why should I go and buy beans or rice from Mama Nkechi when my member is selling rice? I would rather buy from you. But if I don't know you are selling rice, you now come, this my sister, she dey cross go Mama Nkechi. Am I a ghost? You understand where I'm coming from? Close until you're registered and you say, oh, this is my issue. Oh, this is the problem I'm having. Or let me not use the word problem, that's bad. This is the challenges that I'm having as an individual. It is when the embassy does not do anything. You cannot come to the association. We can mobilize, we have our PRO, we have team. We can actually mobilize people and go and form a rally. We, the ones that are not disabled, we go to the embassy, we will carry cameramen, we will pay, we will contribute and say, see, they treated one of us bad. He's disabled and he does not have a job. Embassy will be ashamed, they will work in your favor. So this is like just to make everybody understand what's happening. You want to ask a question?
no, it's okay. I'm satisfied
Yeah.
with all
No, the lady at the back.
Going to the registration process, I just want to ask a question. My question goes like this. Concerning the registration process, I have been to the embassy like...
Sorry, you didn't tell us your name.
My name is Brenda.
Brenda, okay.
Yeah. Concerning the process, I've been to the embassy like several times, and I think the problem we all have, most of us have, is there's no awareness concerning registration. I, for one, I'm here for the first time there is anything like registration. I've been there like, you know.
You just go for your business.
Yeah, and I think is the job of the people at the embassy to give us the awareness that as a Nigerian, you are supposed to register for anything.
It's on the notice board.
I've never seen or heard about that. I, for one, that's my first. This is just my first time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Us, we're not concerned with Nigerian embassy. Even myself, I don't really concern myself. But the truth of the matter is, there's actually a notice that you should be registered with the embassy. Secondly, it is the wise thing to do if you are a foreigner in any country. You see the US citizens, you see them, they can just go to the embassy and they're going in because they are registered. In fact, even when I took my daughter as a French citizen to Nigeria, one of the first things I did was I went to the embassy to present her Now, when you get to the embassy, when you're registered with them, they give you details of what to do. So even when you get there, they will tell you, okay, madam, let's say for example, you go to the embassy. Oh, I'm a Nigerian, I'm new in France here. Oh, I say, let me come and register. They will give you the registration form. They will ask you questions. What do you do? Oh, I sell rice, or I sell beans. Okay, what's the name of your this thing? Do you have your complimentary card? You give it to them, they now know you. If somebody comes tomorrow and he wants rice and beans, you are the first person the embassy is supposed to give your contacts to. So that provision is actually there. That we don't know about it is not the embassy's fault. But now that we know about it, my only solution, way forward, is we should all be registered with the embassy, but we should be registered with APC in France as a member, and then we can help you also register as well. Thank you.
My name is Odebi Okoyemi.
Okay.
The question is, I want Mr. Chairman to ask Mr. President. In France here, we knew any children, as in any child that was born in France, must be in computer, as in maybe for any future reference. In Nigeria, we know we have what we call birth certificates.
Yes.
But how long Nigeria is going to coming back after several years that a child has been born, that we have let me just put this way, a database that for the family. Are you getting where I'm coming from?
Yes, I do.
Because it's something that normally bothered me, because we are in a foreign country and we see how civilized they are,
Yeah.
the way they do things. But in Nigeria, we know where we are coming from.
Okay.
But ask Mr. President, what is his plan? Because I can remember when President Obasanjo was there, they said Nigeria is going to employ a satellite there to monitor some things. But right about now, later, maybe after some years, they said there's no satellite there. That is an issue that is gone. But the question of when you have a newborn baby, what is the plan of the federal government for the family? Because the reason why we're suffering is from the child being, as in from the onset. Because here now, if you have a child, there's a program from the government for you already. Housing facilities, paying the child. But there's none in Nigeria. That is one.
Yes.
The second one is when General Buhari, President Buhari was campaigning, he said he's going to be paying, is it 5,000 naira or 10,000 for the graduate that doesn't have job, and the old women in the community. But let's ask him, when is those promise? When is he going to keep it? We should know, because we know we have 8 people at home. When their problem is solved a little bit, we here too, at least we can manage ourselves. That's all.
Yes, Mr. Shola.
I'm very sorry. I just want to chip in what is just said. You know, to me, I believe we are all looking for a better life in Nigeria, or for we Nigerians. But where it just moved is question, his own, I think it's a very far from where we are now. Because the problem in Nigeria now, when we talk of database, there's something like database. Even me here, they don't know where I am, whether I'm in Nigeria or not. You are not talking of kids that are born in France, it's a very long thing. So I think where we have to start is the main things on floor. Because where you are going is something in years to come. That's when we have database. When you yourself you are recognized. Because most of us are not recognized. So those ones are still something to, to talk of in future, not just now. There are better things to handle now. Right?
We all know the 6 years of Goodluck Jonathan has created disaster to Nigeria. You all saw it's written everywhere in the whole Nigeria. So the plan for the plan for the future generation will come, but there are some steps to be taken. There's an adage in my Yoruba language that said that we press the water before we press the soil. So there are things that you need to tackle first. Because if you don't deal with those things, there's no way you can do whatever you want to do. When President Obasanjo was leaving the government, he left 63 billion in our foreign reserve. Do you realize how much Jonathan left in foreign reserve? Less than 20 billion. What has he done with the money? Absolutely nothing. Sharing money for friends, buy private jet everywhere. So first, we have to tackle corruption. corruption is our main problem. Corruption is a cancer, it's leukemia. It will kill you if you don't kill it. So, President Buhari is working right now on corruption, electricity, and infrastructure. So, by the time we are able to overcome corruption, database, it's true that there was that satellite that was launched a few years ago. But you heard later after 6 months that the satellite fell off. It disappeared. So you are very right, my brother. It is very important that we should be able to keep the data of our family. In France here we call it livre de famille. The history of your family, everything is in one paper. You will see your grandmother, grandfather, So we are coming to that. But the major problem we are having today that we're facing, that is killing our nation, is corruption. So we have to deal with that first. And I'm very sure many of you have been seeing it in the past 100 days. So thank you very much for your observation. We will come to that. Thank you. Yeah, please, that man in suit.
Good day. Please, my question is this.
Your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Ferdinand Joshua.
Ferdinand.
Yes. Joshua.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all Nigerians. And we have left our home. And we are here for now. And we know it's not automatic or immediate for some people that when we come from Nigeria to this place, to go back may not be immediate. You have to settle down, get your documents before you can communicate, before you can travel easily. Now, there's a federal government policy on biometric issues on banking sector. Now, we cannot, most of us cannot freely go back now until we sort out some things here. And most of us still have some bank and some transactions we make for our friends and relations with accounts. Now, being in France, I've been trying to, I have First Bank, I maintain First Bank in Nigeria. So when I heard of the biometric thumb printing, I tried to communicate with the branch here, and I don't think it is not effective. We still have some banks, we still have accounts, and some transactions we do with our relations, with our money in Nigeria. So how do the federal government or the Central Bank of Nigeria help us in France to be able to communicate and coordinate our accounts? Because it's like if you are not covered that biometric registration, you may not really transact with your accounts even when you are here. And you have a right of freedom to transact with accounts. You have relations, you have your friends who communicate with your accounts in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will leave it to the Director of Media to respond because it's a very good.
For the question that you asked. And in fact, this is one of the things that we're commending the President Buhari about. I myself just came back from Nigeria, and I must tell you, the BVN has just been introduced, and a lot of people are having to do that right now. Even with me, they haven't sent me the certificate, but they've given me a number. And you must understand why the government is trying to do that. Not just Nigeria now, all governments in the whole world are regulating their banking system. Even in France now, if you will know, if you want to withdraw 1,000, you have to go and meet them in the counter. That's the new law that has been passed. So what they're trying to do is to actually use that to regulate corruption. So you see that one person has 50 accounts, but he's using different names. But with the BVN, you cannot afford to have 50 names because your thumbprint actually will show that now you get these 50 accounts. So that's the major reason for it. Now, when a policy is being introduced, it goes gradually. Will there be